right. Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Best. I'm a UIT student here in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. And I'm here to present to you KanFund. Now, I want to ask you a question. How do we fund startups right now? Typically, we do it in 3 different ways. We bootstrap them, we crowdsource them, or we VC, venture cap them, or use some kind of grant funding model. That's great. It's awesome. It's fun to get your whole entire company funded, but they're really meant to fund your entire company. We're talking, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. So what about the little things? What if we started to help startups actually fund the smaller things? Now, what would these be? So let's say a logo design. Starts at about $5.99 for a decent one. If you're going to crowdsource Kickstarter route, then you need a decent video, and that makes all the difference in the world. And those can start at thousands of dollars. Or what about just a domain name? Talking hundreds of dollars per year. So what I want to do is make a small, micro crowdsourcing app to fund the little things. Project-based, so you wouldn't be funding an entire company, you'd be funding one thing, one very specific thing. Be petty cash, so $10,000 or less, as you're talking about. Projects could be funded for even less than $50. And be hyper-local, so Cape Breton would have one, Halifax would have one, Toronto and New York. And the boroughs of those different communities would also have one, where they can have the startups around them get funded by the community's cash. So what does this look like? This is the initial design that I presented last week. Kind of crude in terms of colors. We had to change some things because of the slow response times. I'm making a couple of clicks here. Nothing's really happening. YouTube video's not coming up. All right, sweet. Now I can fund it. So with the reviews that I got from last week and the feedback that I received from Gavin and the rest of the class, came up with this design. Very small, very slick. The project information is actually on the same screen. You just scroll straight down. You can fund right there, entering all you need is an email address, enter in card number, and then your validation, and then press pay. An email receipt gets sent to you, and the money goes straight to the startup's bank account. We take a little bit off the top as our funding model. There you go. Anyways, KanFund hopefully be the end of startups dying from 1,000 cuts. So, thank you very much for your time. Any questions that I can field from you guys?
Brian wins. Yeah, exactly.
Also, thanks to these people for helping me make this fantastic slideshow.
That was awesome.
Is there any accountability or way of accountability? Like if I give say $50 so that they can buy a domain name, or whatever. Is there any way of you being responsible to making sure that happens? Or
Yeah. So when you actually sign up and give money to these startups, you can ask to be kept involved about the project. The email addresses will be sent to these actual people that you're funding, and they'll be able to keep you involved in the process stuff. Plus, these will be, you're meant to give to your community, put money back into where you're from. So hopefully these will be startups that you're kind of familiar with, and you can basically go down the street and say hi to them. And say hey, I gave you $10, how's that project going?
To kind of expand upon that a little bit, what would stop them from actually just going down the street and giving them the $10 then, in a case like that?
People are very, very lazy. If I don't have to move and get up 2 steps, people will do it.
Okay.
And also if I don't know that they have something that I want to fund for them, then why would I give them money? I'm not gonna give Matt $10, but when he's like, hey, I want to buy layers.rs, or lay.rs, I'm like, that's awesome. I'll give you $10. So if I know what the cause is, I'm more willing to give.
Yeah, I guess I might just be thinking a little too hyper locally. I guess when I'm thinking about it that way, but
also,
I
do you
just,
mean paper money? Yeah, let's pay.
True. True enough.
Who does really carry cash, right? I mean, that's the other thing.
I like the email receipt too, and just done.
Yeah, no consumer user accounts is very interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying as well is I guess all the receipting is handled through Stripe and everything as well.
Yep.
And there's not really an incentive model other than just the donation itself, right? So it's more you're expecting the crowd that doesn't want, like, if I donate $5, I'm going to get like something back.
Yep.
You're looking at people who are more interested in just building their community itself.
Well, the idea is for this kind of like very altruistic economic development of your own city.
Mm-hmm.
But another side of it can be going into the Kickstarter model where we have like prizes and stuff like that. But the logistics of these things get very mucky, to say the least, after a while.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just thinking in terms of like we're all enthusiasts in this classroom right here, but I'm just thinking of a way to kind of attract on a very broad scale to have other people who actually have the app on and they want to.
Agreed,
Yeah,
and that's
so-
going to be a constant struggle with this,
Yeah.
is trying to figure out how can we keep something very simple like this and actually have people want to give.
Yeah.
Which will be something that we'll have to look at down the road, or sooner than later.
It's good though.
I think it's super easy. You don't need to get people to want to give. People already want to give.
Right.
Mhm.
Making it easy to give in 5 seconds is what you're trying to. Is what you should only be trying to accomplish here. Like the awesome club that I was telling you about a couple months ago.
Mhm.
So we want to get a bunch of people together where everyone gives $10 a month. Nonprofits, very, very small startups, and whoever pitch their idea to us, and we give it away $1,000 every month. But then, how do we actually do that?
Mhm.
Right, is the harder part.
Yeah.
Even though it's very simple, technically, sort of, it's not very simple for the people who would be organizing the Awesome Club.
True. And with real money on the line, I mean, having startups that are on this, hopefully they become evangelical about the platform and be like, look, it's really simple. Here you go. Like, I can get my stuff funded in 3 seconds. Here's the site for what we need.
It'd be so awesome to incorporate it with something like Google Pay or like Apple Pay, where I see this cause, I like the cause, like donate $5 by default or something. You hold your thumb down, boom, there's the money right there.
Yep.
There's so much less involved there, right? Because you see it, you see the offer, you can instantly pay right there.
Mhm.
Pocket donate. I just donate on my
I think like the charity model is best because like the companies that are asking for like $100, they don't have money to give away rewards anyways.
Mhm.
And like these small communities, they do care about each other. I noticed there was no like search for events. Was that just not in the demo?
No,
Or sorry, events.
it's not in the demo. And actually, I'll give you a little bit of a teaser of how that actually would look like.
Sure.
Awesome.
It'd be cool as well because it could give someone an idea of all of the local startups that are kind of and good ideas out there looking for money, right? Because you say you want it hyper local,
Mhm.
so I could bring up the app and be like, okay, well, what are the cool ideas going on in Cape Breton right now? What are people working on?
Exactly. So when we have something like this, basically, the thought would be like you would have all your local startups listed inside this one page, and to get to them, you basically have it here, and you would swipe, and then a new page would show up. Here's startup, how much money they need to raise and whatnot, and all the information would just be listed right down there.
So you go left or right.
Yeah.
Is it possible that you can change your location? If I want to contribute to my buddy's startup that he just made in Milton.
Yeah, absolutely. The idea was to have the top part here be actual drop down, so you could select like, okay, I'm in Nova Scotia, here's all the stuff, but then you can go international and
I like that.
Yeah.
Where like it automatically takes you to the Cape Breton page because it's where you are, Sydney, Nova Scotia page.
Mhm.
But then if you want to, you can make that extra click and go to
Yeah.
Halifax.
Yeah.
And the other thing would be like change it down to Liberty Village or
Yeah.
Brooklyn and all those other like smaller boroughs.
Do virtual hosted domains too, like KapeBreton.KanFund.
Yeah.
Just like fake it.
Cape Breton can fund. We can fund all these things.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's good.
You're way ahead of me.
Mind blown.
Yeah, so then when you do like, you can imagine somebody standing in front of their friends and family,
Mhm.
right? So like, I need to raise $2,000, and their friends and family can almost like do it anonymously, then without you knowing which of your friends and which of your family gave you how much money, right? So you would just say, Cape Breton can fund Brian Best,
dot
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah.
What's your, what was it, KanFund dot?
.com.
Have you tried an ME?
Get an ME.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good. That's a really good idea.
Cape Breton can fund me.
So yeah. So kbreton.canfund.me
This
/
man
then your
over
name,
here.
or then your project or whatever. That's really good.
Yeah.
That is really
I mean,
good.
still use the .com, of course, because people will use that automatically. But
It resolves as .me. Yeah.
dot-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Fund me.
really good idea.
Gotta go buy a domain name.
I just I think if you can make the payment like one click, I think it'd be
It would be
fantastic.
absolutely. And
Like you see your item there, project name, need $500, and like right in the center, there's a donate button you can nail.
There's
But with both options, not just that.
Yeah.
Not just that.
there's
Yeah.
like talk about everybody wanting it to be easy to donate. I agree, that's like hugely important. But for me, it would be like so embarrassing for me to actually approach people and be like, I like even posting in Slack, like even though it was just like I was asking you how your work was going, when I said that like I need this domain name and I don't have $100, like I don't want to be like going around asking people for money. But if there's an app where I can just like state to the whole world I'm poor, then like, that's easier for some reason.
yeah, no, it becomes less judgmental, I guess.
Yeah, less
Well, and
personal.
also
Like,
it's
Yeah.
not as like bearing on anybody.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
it's not
true.
like he's asking me specifically. He's asking the world if they have money to spare.
Yeah, and it's a model that we're all familiar with too, with Kickstarter and Indiegogo, where it's just like, yeah, we need money to help get this off the ground. I need money to help get myself off the ground, or get to those platforms to get me off the ground. So yeah.
Indiegogo and Kickstarter are so widely based, though. I think an app like this really has a chance to kind of build a community of people that are like almost funding within their own selves and keeping themselves going. So
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool idea for that aspect alone.
great way.
Yeah, for sure.
Any other questions? Sweet.
You guys so
That's it. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, great.